You are watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Back of the net.
You're watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform
Or ask your smart speaker
to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
Right, Chris.
All right there, all right at the back. How are we doing? Good evening. How the devil are you? Welcome along, fellow Fox fans. It's that time of the week again, which is pretty difficult to guess because we never have it at the same time every week. Just thanks to Leicester being in Europe and still being in the Carabao Cup. How's that working out for you, Man United? Yeah, you're not in the Carabao Cup, are you? Shame that. Anyway, some would say you're not in the Premier League title race either. Oh, nothing like kicking somebody when they're down, is there? And there's nothing like kicking a Man United fan when they're down. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. Good evening, everybody. This is where you can watch us and listen to us.
Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform
Or ask your smart speaker
to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
It's where you can listen to us and hear us, and we can listen to and we can see Bradley. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Who's Bradley? I'm not Bradley. We've had this discussion before. My mother will hear you and she'll come round there and slap you if you call me Bradley. That's
But
not
you
my
know-
name.
But tell
It's
your
not
mother
a-
I'd enjoy it and she's a welcome round any time.
No, don't you think that way about my mother. That's not allowed, that now. Behave.
Oh, good. Almighty Blues, Ankit, good evening, sir. How the devil are you? This is Luca's Live. Check those two channels out, Chelsea and Arsenal, but some good channels. Hi, Luca. And she's here. Devils United, Maisie. That's a third channel. Again, well worth checking out, especially if you like a bit of the old women's football. My two favourite Leicester fans. What do you mean, Maisie?
I'm the favourite.
The only two Leicester fans you know. What are you on
Yeah,
about?
and I'm still the favourite out of the two of us, but she
Yeah,
can't say
well,
that for
I'm
legal reasons.
She only knows two, and I'm lucky to be in that too, really, aren't I?
Yeah, me and all, mate. Me as well. Me as well.
Hi, Scott. How the devil are you? Well, seeing as Maisie's in, I'm sorry. I love this so much, and I don't apologise at all for playing it again, but it's got to be done.
Viewers, apologize. I'm continue.
I'm sorry. That is going to last all season, and there's no excuse for not playing that. I mean, God knows what it is going to be this week with Tottenham. We'll come on and we'll discuss that. Maisie says no comment, which is my favourite. I can block you. And she says my heart is broken. I tell you what. Talking of laughs, what's happening this weekend?
Oh, sack race.
We're going to the sack race when we get to the game. There's two things. Of course, the clocks go back, and it is also, of course, Halloween. I'm going to have to stop playing that because Maisie's asking for royalties now. You know.
Yeah, poor Maisie. Halloween came early for her and other Man United fans because it's been an absolute nightmare for them this season. Oh, there's the first joke of many. There's the first joke of many.
Well, all I can say is there's going to be a few horror shows this weekend as well, isn't there?
Hey! On the phone. Let me put this
well, I've said this, Scott. I've said Steve. They do like to go for ex-players. Steve Bruce, he's got Premier League experience. He's an ex-player.
I told you this. He's got the hair, colour. He's a bit useless, so he'd be no different to Ollie. They need to get the former manager of the prestigious Barcelona in and go for Mr. Ronald Koeman. That's who's going to take the job. Koeman at the wheel.
Bruce is at the wheel. Bruce is at the wheel. How's that gone for you, Rio? I think you might regret saying it. As you know, with the prediction show, we always have a special guest on. Usually it is a fan of another team. And I actually approached this gentleman to come on the show. Unfortunately, and I totally understand why, he is quite busy because he is sort of the world snooker champion, the reigning world snooker champion, also world number 2. So I kind of get he's got a bit of a full diary at the moment. But Mr. Mark Selby very kindly agreed to send in his predictions, which I'm going to be honest with you, really chuffed about. And I thank him very kindly for doing that. So he to actually send in his predictions and just say, hi, Mark, how the devil are you? Because I know he watches. He doesn't. But thanks for sending them in. And I think that was very nice of the guy.
Yeah, it was, mate. I couldn't believe it when you first posted it. I mean, you brought it up in the show we did yesterday when we gave our thoughts on the Carabao Cup match last night, and I was buzzing for it. Little fun fact: I won't say anything, won't say where or anything. And for anyone that might know where I currently reside, that ain't a clue either. I know where one of Mark's houses is. I know one night he was up playing snooker till 4 in the morning. So he's always snookered wherever he goes, Mr. Selby. I know where he has one of his luxury homes, and he's a brilliant player. And yes, I made the phone. I got it out of the way before you did.
Are you actually stalking the poor guy?
No,
maybe this
so
is why he didn't want to come on the show. He went, oh, God, you're not with that Brad. I've got a restraining order on him. He turns up at my house. I'm not coming on the show.
It just so happens that somebody that I know, when I went around their house, his house is on the back end of the street. So they point it out to me. So, all right, there is a restraining order. I'm sorry, Chris. I got you.
You got to admit it in the end. He is a credit to Leicester. Big Leicester fan, total Leicester fan, and great, as I say, the fact that he's once again world champion. So well done to him for that, and world number 2 as well. It's not a bad thing to be, is it? But
no,
predictions, it is what we're here for. I have his predictions ready next to me, don't I, Mark? Yes, you do, Chris. You didn't see my lips at all there, did you? But this is how it stands at the moment. He says, I'm on a different screen. I've got different results here. Brad, you still in the lead?
Top of the league. I'm top of the league. I'm crap at the long ball, but I'm top of this league.
You are. That's the one that counts because I'm doing reasonably well in that.
Well, this is the English Super Predictions League Cup then. Yeah.
That's the one. No, I'm actually in a Champions League place in the long ball, but in this league, I've got to say, and I think we will call it this moving forward, I'm in Norwich position. We don't say bottom anymore. We'll say Norwich position, and they are the second. Oh no, they're not the second game. That was last week. So the guest who it was Doug, wasn't it, last week? Liverpool fan.
It was.
He fairness, he went for Man United win over Liverpool.
Oh, bless his socks made of cotton.
Yes, he might be. We might not see him on today's show. Maisie, I'm a bit worried about you. Maybe you need to change your washing powder. I think I've got ants in my pants waiting for the predictions. That's living in Manchester for you, isn't it? I remember it well. Needs a good clean. But we start off with the Saturday morning 12:30 kickoff. Good God, that's early for me. And that means I'm going to be up for 11:30 when the teams are announced. On BT Sport, it is Leicester City. We start off with the best game of the weekend, and it's downhill from there. Yeah, but it's Leicester versus Arsenal. I think I would have I've got to be honest with you, sooner played this game earlier in the season when Arsenal was shit. I'm not going to lie on that one. But we both won midweek. They beat Leeds, we beat Brighton. Brighton obviously couldn't beat us without the help of VAR. Oh, did I say that out loud? But we are 9th and Arsenal are 10th. So it's very much tight. Both on 14 points. They've let their goal difference is worse than ours. They've not scored as many, but then again, they've not conceded as many. Now, our last 5 were lost, 2 draws, and then we've obviously got 2 wins. Arsenal's was 2 wins, 2 draws, and a win. So, I don't know what the process is, but it might be just working for Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you say you wanted to play Arsenal when they were terrible. We weren't much better while we were laughing at Arsenal, were we? We were getting jittery results. We were scraping draws, and it's just one of them. But the thing is, and any Arsenal fan that talks about their club or Arteta, especially Arteta, will tell you they're probably nervous about this game because they always get the feeling that with Arteta, they're one defeat away from another 3 or 4 bad results. And then all of a sudden the Arteta out brigade is back in full choir singing voice. And Leicester are a team that I think are not just getting better results, but they're improving performances each week and week out. I mean, despite the sour grapes from Frank Thomas, we did exactly what only Chelsea have managed to do against Brentford at home, and that is, at Brentford, is beat them and ride the onslaught of Brentford. So I think we've done really well.
Yeah, and I said to the Brentford fan, I said, welcome to the Premier League, because, in the Premier League, if you do not take your chances, you get punished. And they didn't take the chances against Chelsea. And let's be honest, they didn't take the chances against us.
No, and realistically, for clear-cut chances, they didn't actually have that many in that game. And like you said, completely different. In a Championship, you might think you're afforded another 3 or 4 chances. In the Premiership, that's very unlikely. You probably get 3 or 4 decent chances a game. And I think this is a game where Arsenal fans they'll go into it confident. I'm sure they will, but I think they'll be very fearful that we will take the win in this game. I think there'll be goals in it, because there always is when Leicester play Arsenal, it seems, especially over recent years. But I still think we've got the slight edge over Arsenal. Tielemans is on fire. Your defence, your midfield is terrified because you can shoot from anywhere. So it doesn't matter who's trying to mark him. He can score from anywhere. So everybody's terrified of Tielemans at the moment. Maddison's looking good. Daka's showing how unselfish he is and how good he is if he gets on the pitch. We're in the right sort of form. We're constantly improving. We're happy to see. You've taken me out of the thing. What are you doing? What happened? That through?
No, I was trying to put you in it.
I was like, I've done. What's he done? Can I still speak? Can everybody still hear me? No, I was just saying that basically. I think Leicester are actually in better form in sense of on an all-round scale. And for that reason, I finally get to my point, as I always do, Chris. I'm obviously going for a Leicester City win. Well, that's nice. I like that. That's actually better.
I know.
That.
I didn't know I could do that. That's the StreamYard updating as we speak. They keep adding new things on, and I didn't know I could do that. That's what I was trying before, because you were talking to put you in on your own. But I quite like that. I quite like that effect. We'll stick with that.
I do. We sit at the bottom, and people can see the fixtures a bit clearer, can't they? Yeah, it's nice. I like that. We'll do this now.
Yeah.
I like that.
Scott, David makes a fair point here. We were pretty poor ourselves at the beginning of the season, so yeah, you're quite right. We were. Well, I mean, in an ideal world, I'd like to play us now against the Arsenal from the start of the season.
Yeah.
I don't want much. I really don't want much. No. Scott says, spoken to a few Arsenal fans, and they do not seem to be too confident. I'm the same, Scott. I've spoken to a few that don't seem too confident. This is the only problem now, because this will be what happens if I bring us. Oh no, we move up. There we go.
That's not bad, because we're not going to be popping them up when we're doing the prediction, talking about it, so we can just pop them up and do it.
Bet you say that to all the girls, not popping them up. Arsenal's Ben White may still be injured from the Tuesday game, says Terry. Indeed, he may. For me, I think Jamie Vardy's going to be back.
Yeah,
because we spoke. I don't know if it was yourself or Craig. I was saying that. I think it was Craig when we previewed the Brighton game, that if Jamie Vardy wasn't going to be fit for Brighton, then Daka wouldn't have played last night, because we wouldn't want to go into a game where both Vardy and if Daka got injured, Daka were both out of it. So with Daka playing last night, we're thinking Vardy will be fit, and if Vardy's fit, Vardy will play.
Yeah, I think even if Vardy was 100% fit, he'd rather get Daka having 90 minutes under a belt, so that if he has the role, he comes on as an impact sub, he's still feeling fresh off a game midweek. So it was smart by Brendan, and we said that, didn't we? A lot of Leicester fans agreed that we did.
But I think Vardy will start. He does like a goal against Arsenal.
Just a bit.
He pops the odd one in. I mean, Arsenal beat Villa 3-1 last time out. We had the tougher game, I think, because we played Brentford. It was 2-1. So I think I was thinking draw at one point, because it is Arsenal, and we don't have the best record against Arsenal, if truth be known.
Yeah, but we do it at home. We do it at home over the last few seasons. I don't think we've lost to Arsenal since we won the league at home. I could be wrong. Someone might tell me I'm wrong, but I think at the King Power, Leicester haven't lost at home since that 5-2 game to us.
I wish I supported a team like Man City that just wins most weeks. I'm going to go for the win. I don't care, sod it. I'm going to go for the win because, like you say, I can't go against my team.
No.
Hi all, Louise Brown. Good evening. How the devil are you, madam? Welcome along. I hope you're well. If we have ambitions of the top four, we need to beat teams like Arsenal. Yes, we do. And Terry says, so confident of a Leicester win. He's playing his banker. He's playing his banker on that game. Well,
good man. And you've just reminded me, because I did half of them last week and forgot the other half. So this week I haven't done any at this point. So
I haven't done any yet either. But I should do that first, and whatever I picked for that, I should do in here, because I'm doing better in that than I am in this. But,
well, I'm going to start doing that, mate. I'm going to start doing that. Stop fucking me.
Where are we? So, Mr. Selby has actually gone for the draw, and I totally understand why he I'm going to put an M instead of a G, because it's Mark, and I think he deserves the credit there. So no, he's gone for a draw, and I get that. I really do get that. So I understand where he's coming from with that.
I think we'd be happy with either of them results. They wouldn't be really right now. I think you'd take it just to keep the momentum going.
Exactly.
Because I think after this game, we've got a few games that we'd be looking more towards winning. I think we've got Leeds and teams like that coming up.
Yes, Leeds coming up next,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
So, be a handy one either way.
I do see where Mark is coming with that, because I was tempted to go for that at the start, but I'm on an Arsenal show tomorrow night, so I've got to be confident of a win going into there. Dan's not watching, I don't think, but we have got Dan coming up on the sloppy second show later. Burnley against... I'll leave that thought in your mind. But hi, Hayden. I don't know if I said hi, Hayden. Welcome along. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Hayden.
Burnley are hosting Brentford. Which way do you see this one going?
Burnley, and they're just so drab this season. And I'm sorry, Dan, and I'm sorry to any Burnley fans, all 17 of them that are out there, but I can't. I feel you're going to feel the wrath of Brentford this weekend. You just cannot get going. I don't know what it is. Normally with Burnley, you start to see signs that they're going to get the results, and you never really feel they're going to be in trouble over the long term. But this season, I really do worry for you. So I'm going to go out there straight on it and give Brentford the win.
I need to stop doing that. Brentford, there we go, sir. Well, Brentford, I mean, as you know, it's one of the few predictions I've got right in anything this season so far. That I said that they would do best of the three teams that come up. I think they'll maybe do a Sheffield United. I mean, they're sat in 12th. I mean, they were higher, and I think they are slowly realising, like I say, with the last two games, Chelsea and us, I think, like I said, it's welcome to the Premier League, guys. But the last five, it was one drawn, one lost. But they lost to Chelsea, which is no disgrace. They beat West Ham, which is good. Of course, drew 3-3 with Liverpool, and beat Wolves 2-0. So I mean, who'd have thought? I mean, Liverpool. Sorry, Maisie. Liverpool put 5 past Man United. And yet Brentford held them to 3-3. That kind of, and both of them for Liverpool were away from home. So it kind of, shows, as I say, Brentford remind me a hell of a lot of Leicester under Martin O'Neill.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So just sorry, before I do it, catch up on a couple of things. Scott went 5-3 to Leicester, and Hayden thinks we'll win 3-1. Scott's gone for the draw. Big call that, Scott, Burnley Brentford, because I've got to agree with Brad. And I think that I can't type. I think that Brentford will annihilate Burnley. To say that after this we're going to be literally a quarter of the way through the season, I think Burnley need to start getting worried. Down at the bottom, they've got literally how many points have they got? They've got 4 points, and they're all from draws. and that says it all, really. Arsenal managed to beat them 1-0 in the last 5, and that was followed by a draw with ourselves. They could only draw with Norwich. That was a game they should have, they needed to win. They lost to Man City, although they did manage to keep it down to 2 this season. And last time out, they drew with Southampton. Again, a game that they need to win. They need to be winning those. And when you look at the fact that Newcastle, we know, come January, they're going to have a new manager. They're going to be able to buy. They're not going to go mad. We know they're not going to go mad and suddenly start buying Messi and all those. But they're going to add to the squad, definitely. And they obviously will not be down there come the end of the season. So I think it really bodes badly for Burnley. And I'm sorry, mate, but Dan, they are going to go down this season, I have a feeling. That said, also going for making the full set. But Mark has also gone for a Brentford win.
I've always liked that Mark Selby. He's got sense.
He knows how to put the balls in the net, doesn't he?
He certainly does, mate. Certainly knows.
Oh, that's bad. That was bad. I apologise, guys. Right, sir. Liverpool Brighton. How do you see this one going?
I said it once, I said it last night, and I'll say it again. You're a fraud, Mr. Potter. I wish people would get off the hype train. Look, he's good enough for Brighton, and Brighton are a average side that are good enough to be in the Premiership, sort of 14th, 15th, 13th, maybe even 12th. But they ain't this wonder side with all these hip statistics coming out and their XG. I don't understand where these hipsters are they do the graphics on Brighton saying, oh, they've got the best XG in the Premiership, but they don't stick the ball in the net enough. And yet again, Brighton are starting to run out of steam after a great start. And I'm sorry, they're getting absolutely thumped. I reckon see another 5 goals going in here tomorrow for Liverpool. Easy home win.
Don't sit on the fence, will you, Brad?
No, I know, right? I don't like to mix opinions.
So you're going for a Liverpool home win. I think I gleaned out of that conversation.
Yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but that definitely was the way I was leaning. And look, I know it might sound like I'm aiming my anger towards Brighton. It's more towards all these hipsters that come out and go, oh, it's all about stats. No, it ain't. It's all about how many goals you score and how many you don't concede every time you play a game of football. I don't care if they're having 10 expected goals a game. If they ain't scoring, they ain't bloody well winning. So stop with this praise of Potter. Come on, Liverpool, smash them.
I am totally 150% on the same pitch as you with that one, mate. Yes, he may be a good upcoming manager, but upcoming for me is the word. He's not won anything yet.
Yeah.
Somebody said he did something. I know he got a team promoted or whatever before, but he's not won anything major, you know. And let's be honest with you, if Brendan Rodgers had not been a manager in the Premier League before he went to Celtic and he only came down from Celtic, would we say that he's got you know a good history? No, because it was with Celtic, and for most of the time he was at Celtic, there was no Rangers in the Premier League. So and you know, there was only him could Celtic there. Rangers were having to come up through the division. So but is obviously we know what he could do with Liverpool. He took them within a slip of winning probably the Premier League. He did well at Swansea. He's had it so, but Potter hasn't yet done anything for me. And there's people that are saying, let's get rid of Southgate and put Potter in.
Oh, it would be just as boring. It would be just as boring.
See, I still don't get what is wrong with Southgate. He's got to score a fourth, a third, and a second.
And another thing, Chris, I'll add to this Potter thing. It sounds like we're having a Potter show here, doesn't it, mate? But we'll promise you guys that are watching, we will move on after this.
My love, my darling.
But does anybody remember? Everybody must have really short memories because there's a certain Eddie Howe that everybody got the tissues out for and blarted about when he was Bournemouth manager. He ain't had a job since.
No.
He thought he was too good for Celtic.
Now, in fairness to Eddie Howe, though, he was a good manager, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, but living down there, and I've seen what he did at Bournemouth, and he brought them from minus 17 points in the bottom league up to the Premier League and kept them there. The problem is that he doesn't. That was his job. You know what I mean? He's got to now prove himself with a bigger club. The problem is
that's what I mean with Potter as well.
He went to Burnley. He went to Burnley, but he wants to stay on the South Coast because his family are down on the South Coast. So there's very few jobs that he can really. He was never going to go for the Newcastle job, I don't think, because they say of where it is. But we'll see. But yeah, I totally agree with you. Southgate's doing a great job for me. He's the most successful manager apart from Ramsey. And you could even say he's more successful than Ramsey because, yes, Ramsey won the World Cup, but, he's got us to a fourth, a third, and a second. That's a lot better than Ramsey did. Potter, go off, earn your stripes. In 2 or 3 years' time, I might say, yep, you're good and what have you. But, I don't buy into it at all. And I think we are slowly starting to see the real sort of Brighton, if you like. Having said that, they're still in fifth. But after having beaten us, well, that was Brighton and VAR Albion, wasn't it? After beating us 2-1, they drew with Palace, they drew with Arsenal, They drew with Norwich. Again, that's a game that they should have been winning. And, of course, they lost to Man City, which, in fairness to them, a lot of teams will lose to Man City. Liverpool, everybody knows what Liverpool's done this season, and then the last 5 was 1, drawn, 1. They've got 27 goals and only conceded 6. I don't know if it will be a goal fest like you are saying, but you can't say anything other than a Liverpool win, can you?
No, you just can't.
No. And I've got to be totally honest with you, nor can Mark. So he's agreeing with us. Maybe on that first game, he just didn't want to be too biased.
Yeah, yeah.
I also have a feeling he might just be right, because I nearly went for the draw. Let's just have a look at some of the comments here. Hayden says, I think we were 3-1. We did that. Terry, Brentford have been winning by the odd goal this match. Will they thrash Burnley? David's still on about Leicester Arsenal. Hayden's gone Brentford 2, Burnley 0. Scott says, I think Burnley could be in a mess if Newcastle come in for some of their players. People, they will do. I mean, apart from Tarkowski, that is a team that's got them where they are at the moment. So that'll be interesting. Terry's next banker is a Liverpool win. Graham Potter, for me, is a similar manager to David Moyes, says Scott. And then he says he's going for a 6-0 to Liverpool. Sometimes managers have to find the team that is suited with them. David Moyes, he was suited at Everton. We know he wasn't given time at Man United. I'm not saying he would have won them, but look where they are now, with the HGV driver at the wheel. But he's found his forte at West Ham. I didn't think West Ham would be doing what they were doing this season, but they are. So that's how it's been so far. We're pretty much agreeing all the time here, aren't we? And I have a feeling we might even agree on the next one as Manchester City host Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I think this will be a closer game than some of the others we've just predicted, especially the one we've just predicted. But I cannot look past a Manchester City win. I just don't think Crystal Palace have the firepower to frustrate. Then again, we all remember that Andros Townsend screamer that I think beat them last season or the season before. So never say never. But if you're to coin a phrase, if you're to hedge your bets, I don't think many people, unless they're Crystal Palace fans or they're kind of split in the pot sort of thing, would be putting money on, Crystal Palace to get a result from this. I don't think it'll be a 4-1 score like Scott's predicted there, but I am going for Man City to win this.
I mean, Palace surprised me. I thought they would be struggling more than they are this season because the new manager syndrome, etc., and he's not got the experience. But Vieira is once again proving I know nothing about football. They're sat in 15th, but they're coming into this on the back of 4 draws with Brighton, with ourselves, with Arsenal, and with Newcastle. We saw against us that they didn't lie down at 2-0 down. They were the better team, and they probably deserved a point. If I'm totally honest with you, our 2 goals, if we'd have won that, it would have been the proverbial smash and grab. That said, this is Man City.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I mean that they're in 3rd. They haven't lost in 5. A couple of draws. They could only draw against Southampton, and of course they drew with Liverpool. But they beat Chelsea. They beat Burnley. Let's face it, everybody is at the moment. Oh, sorry, Dan. And hello, Mrs. Riley. And they beat Brighton, of course, last time out. Like you say, though, it's hard to see anything past a Man City win, isn't it?
it's one of them. I'd rather go for Man City in this sort of format. I'd rather go for Man City and be surprised than try and say Crystal Palace are going to do something and get it wrong, because I like being top. So if everybody's going to agree with me, I can't lose that position, can I?
No, you can't. And I am agreeing with you a lot this time. This is a little bit worrying, shall we say? You know.
Oh dear. Right. Outside big brain thinking.
Right, let me just put Manchester City's badge back in there. I'm sure to get a complaint. Mark Selby, which way do you think he's gone with this one?
Surely he's got to have gone for a Man City win.
He has indeed.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at you trying to put that box into the bloody
No. I was just doing it so that it didn't do auto copy. Rich, good evening from Rich Sports. How the devil are you, sir? Hope you're well. Pop over to Rich Sports and check his channel out. Manchester City 4-1, says Scott. He's going for the big scores. Tell you what, Scott, if you're right, I'm watching Match of the Day this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. He's going for some high-scoring games. I mean, there is always the possibility that Man City. I mean, it's Man City. I just feel like, like you said, Vieira's probably been a surprise package in terms of manager and how we expected them to succeed or not succeed, I guess, in this case. They could. I think they'll make it harder than what most people feel they will.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Yeah, we will indeed. And we're going to go and look at the next game, which is Newcastle versus Chelsea. And we'll look at that straight after this. The race, it's our sloppy second show tonight, coming up at 9 o'clock with Dan, who's taking on the Quizmaster. There's Dan, the Burnley fan. The race, it's a little bit different. There's a bit of football in there and a bit of general knowledge. So there's a bit of a mix, and it's the first one over the finish line. Can Dan beat the Quizmaster? That is the question, and we'll find out. Well, find out by tuning in at 9 o'clock. It's the pilot show. We're not sure how it's going to go. If it doesn't go well, you'll never see it again. So we'll see how it's all going to be off the cuff. It's going to be like, it's going to be like Crossroads on Heat. Let me just put it that way for those of you that are old enough to remember. Newcastle Chelsea. There's only going to be one winner, surely here, Brad.
Yeah, sorry, Newcastle fans. You've just got to put up with a bit more pain for a little bit longer, because when Lukaku and that were missing, everybody thought, oh, Chelsea might lose that last game, they might struggle and whatnot in the cups and whatnot, but they've proven they're a force to be reckoned with. I mean, the Tuchel effect is very much still continuing, and sorry, Newcastle, I just only see one winner. You know,
As indeed does myself and Mark Selby. I mean, it's what difference is there other than the fact that they've now got an assistant manager, coach, whatever, running the team. I don't know if it was part of Bruce's setup or not, but
God knows.
I just don't see, if you get rid of a manager and you haven't got another manager in there, sometimes it works depending on who the coach is. We saw it happen with Aston and Shakespeare, of course. But yeah, it's the same load of players. You haven't got a new manager. I just can't see until Newcastle get a new manager that might come in and say, right, we've got these set of players, but you need to do this instead. You need to do that, and change it round. We might see some change. Unfortunately, it is Chelsea coming up to in the first post-Bruce game, and I'm afraid I think you are going to lose. Scott, he likes to disagree with us, Scott, don't you? But it's all about opinions. But he thinks Newcastle will win 3-2.
Oh, I'm not following Scott now with these high scoring ones. Forget it, Scott. No. I
know there's going to be about 100 goals this season. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the bookies and I'm going to take Scott's bets off him. Scott does say Newcastle head coach was not part of Steve Bruce's team that came in. Okay, fair enough then. But still, I still can't see anything, to be honest with you here. But Scott, by all means, send me your money and I'll take that bet with you. I want to say, am I allowed to be a bookmaker? I don't know. But here we go. Watford, Southampton. This is going to be a bore fest, isn't it? And I know Watford got 5 last time, but, there was 3 goals in the last 1.5 minutes or whatever it was. So I think it was I don't think it reflected the game. I just can't see this. I'm going for a draw with this one straight off. I'll put myself in there. I can see this being a bore draw.
See, I don't know. Watford concede 5, then they score 5 in a freak game. Liverpool fans must have been doing cartwheels over Watford. They rolled them, and then they beat them, and then they watched Watford beat the Merseyside derby. So rival. So this one's a difficult one because you don't know what Southampton's going to turn up. Is it the Southampton that everybody expected, which was to struggle without their players? Is it going to be the surprise Southampton to put up some stubborn resistance against the likes of Man City and Chelsea? Or Pogba's never done it. I don't think it's going to be as boring a game as people think. Now I've said that, watch this be the first time a 0-0 Dulles Dishwater happens, and I don't say it's not. So, but I am going to agree with you. I cannot pick between them. So I'm actually going to copy you for this one, Chris, and I'm going to sit on the proverbial fence and go for a draw.
I mean, apart from that win, Watford last won against Norwich, fair enough. They drew with Newcastle. They lost to Leeds, and they lost obviously to Liverpool. Everyone knows I love Ranieri to bits, but he isn't the manager for Watford. I really don't think he is. And I just, if they are, I mean, they're not in a relegation battle at the moment, and I think there's possibly 3 worse teams than Watford in that division that will go down, although I did predict them to go down. But if they do start to slip down, I don't know if Ranieri's the man. Ranieri did well with us, but he took over a team that was on the up. Do you know what I mean? But
he still did a good enough job for us. He still obviously had his ways implemented and it did work.
Of course, he did a good enough job for us. But, he's not taking over a team. When he's taken over a team that was struggling, he hasn't suddenly turned it round for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's why. But I do get the fact that you agree with me and you are actually saying, yes, Chris, you are right.
Yeah, well, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying because when he went to Fulham, it weren't like they were in the greatest form. Whereas you are correct. When he took over at Leicester, they were still on the momentum from that amazing Great Escape run. So there is that. Honestly, perfect man for the job. He might want 6 more months in football because that's all he's going to get. If Ranieri does get the boot, would be Sam Allardyce. Let's face it.
Well, or some Italian we've never heard of.
Yeah. I would put short odds on Allardyce being the next Watford manager in the next coming months because he's going to get sacked regardless. It's just Watford's way. But
it is. I mean, you do. I mean, obviously Fabrizio Romano is a Watford fan. And I think it was on one of his channels where in Italy, that's how they operate. They do actually, change managers on a very, very regular basis. And he said, in Watford are owned by Italian owners. So, that does have an effect on it. But
don't they still own like 2 other clubs like Udinese? Because didn't Watford have that really strange thing where they had like 9 loanees and it was all from one club? And then they got, I don't know if they got collared for it or something. And then they got like a 3rd team they own as well or something.
They do own another team, yes, but I don't know. I really don't know who they're.
Saying that, obviously, our owners obviously own the Belgian outlet.
Yeah,
don't they? So
Southampton beat Leeds 1-0. Last time out, they drew with Burnley, and they also lost to Chelsea and Wolves. And before that, they drew with Man City. So. We may be wrong, but the scary thing is, on top of all that, Mr. Mark Selby, snooker world champion and current number 2, agrees with us again. This is not the most exciting prediction league week we've ever been.
I think after the game that's coming up, we've had about 5 or 6 fixtures that have kind of been, you've got your red hot favourites, haven't you, really, realistically?
Yes,
and including the fact that we're Leicester fans for the first one, so that was always going to be one that...
Tony, how the devil are you, sir? Big Brentford fan, came on the Brentford review show. Welcome to the Premier League, mate. Not a happy man at losing to Leicester. But like I said to you then, and we said earlier in the show, that is the Premier League. Don't take your chances. You get punished. But it's great to have you along. And I think they will. I can't see Brentford going down. Like we said with Watford, there's a lot worse clubs in this division than Brentford at the moment. I hope they do. Yeah, I hope they and I think they will survive. And
if Brighton can collapse and then take their place and make sure of it, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, and we've all gone for you're going to beat Burnley, Tony. So don't let us down. Scott's got 3-1 Watford. You think there's going to be goals, don't you, Scott? Can't just say Scott. I don't know what you're drinking, but will you send me some?
Especially if it's Jack Daniels, you can send it my way, mate. If he's drinking that, I might.
All I'll say is, Scott, I really hope you're right, because it'll be one hell of an entertaining weekend. Now,
I tell you what, we might have to do that over the Christmas period, Chris. You know, when we do the shows for around Christmas, it might go from the prediction show to the piddled up predictions.
It might well do. It might. We might have to have a Christmas mulled wine or something. Now, I don't know what Mark's going for on each one, because I'm actually sort of taking the screen down. As soon as I see what he's gone for this one game, I take the screen down. So I don't know too much in advance what he's gone for. But this is going to be interesting. You've got 2 clubs here with managers that aren't really the most popular with the fans. I think Maisie's gone, which is a shame, but it would have been nice to see which way she was going to go with this.
We soon went from being her favourites to boring, didn't we?
We did.
We went to the Manchester United one. Oh, Maze. It's happened again, Chris. I'm getting a phone call coming through.
It is. Do you want me to tell mine while you sort yourself out?
No, it's all right. It's gone away now. I've just, when you can put a message straight to it.
Yeah, it's Leicester City ringing you up saying, "Do you want to buy a ticket?"
Manchester United. It was Ollie saying, "Do you want to come in as my number 2?" I said, "No, mate. I'm better than you." And I put the phone down on it.
Man United dropping down. They're down to 7th, same points as Leicester, and their last 5 are won, lost, drawn, lost. They won. They beat West Ham. They lost to Villa 1-0. They drew with Everton. They lost to the best team in the world, Leicester City. And then, of course, 5-0. Can you hear somebody laughing? Can you hear somebody laughing?
I can. I think I can.
Can you?
I can. I can. I can hear all the other 19 Premier League teams laughing. That's what I can.
Oh, go on then. You twisted my arm. Here we go.
Viewers, apologize. I'm continue.
I
really hope Arsenal don't stuff us this weekend.
Yeah, I'll never live it down, mate. If they beat battered.
No. This is going to be interesting because Tottenham are actually 1 point ahead of Manchester United and 1 place ahead of them in 6th, and they lost to Chelsea 3-0. They lost in what was totally a diabolical first half, 3-1 to Arsenal, although they would argue they won the second half. They beat Villa. They beat Newcastle just 3-2, although in fairness, Newcastle were on a bit of a high that day. And they lost to West Ham. I'm going to be interested to see where you go with this one.
You know how you made them noises of boredom for the Watford game?
Yeah.
Scott's already beat me to it. This is two teams that are terrified of losing. And I think it's going to put everybody to sleep. Because this is just two teams that will not want to lose this game for their own dignity. I think they won't even care what the manager tells them for the plans. They will not go out aggressively for it. They will both be tentative. They'll both sit back. Ronaldo will probably start crying because, it's Ronaldo. And I think this is going to be the dull. This is going to be the. Is this the Saturday game or is it a Sunday? It's Sunday, isn't it?
This one is a Sunday on Sky.
Well,
so we can all watch it.
This is the game. This is my last on Match of the Day 2 game. Then that's what I'll do. I'll tweak it. It'll be my.
Yeah.
No,
it's Saturday night. Sorry, no, it's Saturday night. It's the late kickoff Saturday night.
Right. Then what I'll do, and this has been a common theme that I like to do every week. We try and do it, don't we, Chris? This will be the segment where I have this down as my last on Match of the Day game. This will be a boring grab 0-0.
Do you know, this is so scary, right? I've got to agree with you. I can't go. Can I see Man United winning it? No. Can I see Tottenham winning it? More than Man United, if I'm honest with you. But Tottenham are just so inconsistent. They're not. They've had the 2 weeks at the top, and that's it for the season. Man United are not going to do anything under Ollie. I'm sorry. I like Ollie. He did what he did when he followed Jose Mourinho. He came in, he put a smile on the face, and they, but he got a permanent contract too soon. His problem is he's got 12, 14 world-class players, but he doesn't know what to do with them.
Oh.
He's got a lot, he's got square, some of them are square pegs and he's trying to put them into round holes. He cannot manage, and this is the difference between him and I think Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers can sit and he can have James Maddison on the bench for 2 weeks, and James Maddison will understand why. I can't, you can't see.
Yeah.
Why does Fred keep getting the game? That's the question. And Harry Maguire, it was you don't see Brendan bringing on Johnny Evans before he's fit enough to play some part of the game, and Harry Maguire has to take a blame on that as well. But I don't know. I mean, David says that he can see Man United winning.
Is he playing FIFA?
Scott says here, question for you both: if Spurs or Man United lose this game Saturday, who gets the sack? I think Ollie before Nuno. I don't think Ollie will. I don't think either of them will, to be honest with you, if they lose, because I think if you're going to sack a manager, you sack him after a 5-0 defeat to Liverpool, your biggest rivals. Because if you look at that game, it doesn't matter the fact that you lost. It was your tactics, your team selection, everything was bad. But Nuno, you've got to give him a chance. Is it his team at the moment? No. He's got that job. He wasn't first choice. He was 8th or 9th. So I don't think either of them will go just yet, to be honest with you. I think it will be nearer Christmas when they make that decision go. But I think if one of them does go first, it might just be Ollie, because I think Man United owners are still in the I want to lick the fans' arse and make up for the ESL hassle that we'll do that first of all by signing Ronaldo. I'm going to go for the draw as well.
Yeah.
Which way do we think, Mark? Let's have a look at Mark.
You have a look at Mark, and I'll just answer Scott's questions as well while you're just looking at that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think what we're seeing with Nuno, because he's not a bad manager, he did well with Wolves. I actually think that Nuno is proving that the managers were not the problem at Tottenham. Everybody said that Poch had burnt out, so that's why he wasn't doing it. And I think that you know, I know we use suggestive phrase enough, but I think Tottenham peaked when they played Liverpool in that Champions League final. That had been a goal for Liverpool. I keep saying Liverpool because that's who they played. That had been a goal for Tottenham fans for so long because they'd had this injection. They'd seen the ground lit up by the Bales and the Modriches, and they had this big investment. And they were the first team that everybody talked about breaking up that top four. You know, I think the expectations was the long-term objective was to eventually be consistent in the Champions League and then push on and hopefully win it. And maybe they kind of put all the eggs into one basket, and then they proved that tactically after that maybe it wasn't. Maybe there's some players there that are glazed over. They're out of energy. Ericsson was one of them. That's why he's gone. Dele Alli is another one. Kane. It's not Nuno's fault that he stuck with Kane in the nicest way possible. No. I'm not saying Kane's not a quality striker. What I'm saying is I think them players were probably told years ago, they were probably told in the next 5 years, we will have won something and we will be a big club.
I think if they stuck with Pochettino, they might have done, but I don't think that they backed him. When you've just got through to a Champions League final and you've lost it, you build on that. And they didn't. You know, he wasn't given the money. The money went into the new ground, but there we go. But let's say we've been going for an hour and we've still got quite a few games to get through now. So let's just speed through. Mark Selby went for a Tottenham win.
You know what, this Mark Selby, I don't know what sport he plays or his sport, but it's all rubbish. I'm joking, Mark. I'm sure you want
I'll give him your love. I'll give him your love.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I can see why, Mark, because I was like that between them. And it could go either way, but I think, like Brad said, it'll be splinters in the bottom time. What we got next? We got Norwich against Leeds United. That's the Sunday game. Before we come on to the Sunday, talking about getting drunk at Christmas, weren't you?
Aye, all right, Chris. This is Neil Razor Ruddock here. No, you're huge. A Leicester City fan. You run the website, Facebook, the Twitter site, Leicester till I die. That's what you are, Chris. Oh, Leicester till I die. I'm Leicester till I die. Anyway, Chris, well done for doing all the hard work for Leicester City. All the best, son. Neil Razor Ruddock. Aye, Chrissy. Aye.
Well, if you get drunk at Christmas, I think Neil Razor Ruddock is a great advert for that Wizard song. I wish it could be Christmas every day. But
he's such a character, isn't he?
I've got to love the guy. I'm sorry, I love the guy to bits, and thank you for doing that. But he does come across as having maybe had a tipple first. Allegedly, of course, totally allegedly. Right, so we're looking at Norwich versus Leeds United. Oh, I don't know about you, but this will be second last, I think, on Match of the Day.
I think it'll be the last on the Sunday Match of the Days because Leeds are just they're just kind of they're like a firework. They're all pretty when they first go up, but now it's come to the end. They're a bit fizzled out. See, I even managed.
Can I just say you could have likened that to so many things. Thank you for going for the firework.
You're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. And honestly, but Norwich are just so bad. They're just so bad. I've already given them one John McEnroe prediction, and I got away with it because they drew with Brighton because Brighton are terrible. They just think the skies were where they are in the league. But I can't say it again. I'm gonna do what I didn't do in the game above, and I'm not gonna sit on the fence. I'm gonna say that Leeds just edged this, but I do think it'll be a drab game. Yeah. I think it'll be a scruffy game, this, but I don't want to sit on the fence on this because Norwich is just so bad. They're the new Derby County. So I'm going to go for Leeds.
Melina, good evening, Melina. How the devil are you?
Melina.
Looking forward to seeing you. This sounds a bit dirty, to be honest with you, but looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. But I should actually say that it is only on one of these shows. She's coming on the Leicester versus Arsenal review show, and I'm a bit nervous because if they beat us, then she is going to give me some stick after all the stick I've given her as an Arsenal fan. I'll tell you. I would deserve it. I would deserve it. You know, I can't play John McEnroe. Do you know why? Because I agree with you again. I agree with you again.
Well, you definitely won't be catching me.
Yeah, every Tuesday, I do a show with X on the Pitch with Julian Watson. It's always great. One of my favourite shows of the week because we get to hear, you know, when I ask him questions about things that I've got an opinion on, and he sits down and shows me that I'm totally know nothing about football. As an ex-professional football player for Leicester, it's great to hear his views on things. And one of the questions that I asked was, it was simply three words, I think it was, Norwich City. Why? I mean, they just literally are that. And I'm not saying that Norwich City should do a Leeds United and spend, and then go bust, because they're obviously a very, very, very well-run club. They've got a good manager there, but you need to buy some players. You need to put a fight up. We're looking at you a quarter of the way through the season, and you are literally following a team that's going down. Surely, as fans, you know, it's all right to say, well, we come up and we have a nice season up, and we see Ronaldo, and we, you know, we see Lukaku play, and it's marvelous. But surely you want to do something, you know, and you're just not. You're just going straight back down. You're everybody's favourites to go down, Norwich City, and you're gonna.
What? Hello? It appears we've lost Chris with his connection. So I can't obviously bring up any comments. I think he's coming back in now.
Can
he
you
kicks
hear me?
himself out. Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Kicks himself out.
Yes. So there's that Norwich fan going, say, stop having a go at us. We didn't want to come on anyway. But sorry, Norwich. I can't even go for a draw for you anymore. And I've got to go for a Leeds United win. And Leeds are that bad. And for me to go for their win kind of sums up how awful you are at the moment. Mark has gone. He's made the full set. And this is the nicest week we've had.
Yeah.
Mark Selby, world snooker champion, I hasten to add, number 2 in the world, he's not far off predicting exactly the same as us. Luca's saving his prediction for me for tomorrow. I'm not Luca. I'll give it you now. We're going to stuff you. Tony, Arsenal have had easier teams so far. Leicester will be a tough match for you. Exactly, Tony. You say it as it is. So we are down to the last couple of games here now. Aston Villa versus West Ham, the second game on the Sunday. And as you can see, all these games from Saturday night onwards are on Sky. Aston Villa, West Ham United. Villa, I thought they would be doing a little bit better. They're in 13th with 10 points. They've won again, beat Everton 3-0. They beat Man United 1-0. Who hasn't? Then they lost to Tottenham, lost to Wolves at the last minute, and obviously lost to Arsenal. But yeah, he lost to Arsenal, Aston Villa. What's up? And West Ham, they're up there in 4th. Well done, David and the guys. They lost to Man United. They beat Leeds. They lost to Brentford. That's no shame this season. But they beat Everton and they beat Tottenham last time out, of course. Surprised me, Brad.
I can't, mate. Villa probably underwhelming this season so far. They've not had the start that a lot of people may have had them expect them to be. I think there's probably 3 or 4 places higher as where they were expecting to be. Because obviously you make all these signings. They lost the marquee and key player in Jack Grealish, obviously. And as we've seen probably for ourselves this season, when we've had to throw new signings in at the deep end, it takes a while to gel. But Villa haven't been that impressive, and they've not had the injuries. They've had probably a more consistent lineup to go for, and they've been a bit underwhelming. And West Ham are not really that actually surprising me in a sense. Maybe surprised that they're 4th, but they're no surprise to me that they're up there. They were there last season. Right up until the end, they were in the hunt for the top 4 or 5 spots, weren't they? And, you know, they are reminiscent, like you said, with David Moyes. He's found his level at a club like that. He did exactly the same with Everton. Every so often they'd have a mid-table season, but then every so often they'd be back challenging for Europe. And I think West Ham are going to be doing that this season. I think Aston Villa will eventually stable out, but I don't think it's going to start with this game. And I'm going to go for West Ham to continue their form, you know, because awkwardly, Man City just got knocked out of their own cup by a certain West Ham. Although I don't know how strong they went for the lineups, but Mark Noble played, so it can't have been that strong. So I'm going to say that West Ham continue their good form at the moment, and I'm going to say that West Ham come away with an away win here, mate.
Brad. I've got to agree with you again. Sorry.
This week's a very friendly one, isn't it, in agreeing?
Yes, we're being. But I am on your wavelength with this. I can see Villa. They've put a couple of good results, like you say. They knocked West Ham. They're not their West Ham. They knocked Man City out of their own cup. West Ham, I'm sure, didn't particularly have a strong lineup. You know, we all know all the teams make a lot of changes. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you. And Mark Selby, he's gone for something different.
Oh, God. It's only the 3rd one that's managed to be different. I think me and you are on for a streak of joint predictions. So Mark's the only one that's been different.
Yeah, we have. We've literally agreed on everything. It's going to be, and I'm going to write down here, right? Look away, Brad. But what I'm going to do, just to say that people don't think that I am cheating, that is who I'm going for in the next round. Can you see that? That's who I'm going for in the next round. Okay, Brad.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. So, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton. So, Wolves.
Who did Mark go for in the Villa game?
Sorry?
You said Mark had gone for different, but you didn't say who he'd gone for in the Villa.
Yeah, I said he's gone for the draw. Sorry. Villa.
Sorry, I didn't know that part. Sorry.
Draw. Sorry, no. Wolves lost 1-1 and drew. Drew with Leeds last time out, where Everton, who were disappointing me, I'm not going to lie, but they're up there in 8th, same points as us, just sat on top of us, which is not very nice. But they lost to Villa, they beat Norwich, they drew with Man United, they lost to West Ham, and amazingly lost to Watford 5-2. So which way are you going on this? And we'll see whether you're going to agree with me or not.
Yeah, that old Rafa facts and Damari Gray's a god soon wore off, didn't it, Everton fans? How are you feeling about that? Spending only about £3.50 on players at the window. It's kind of backfiring for you, isn't it? Honestly, we gave Wolves a lot of stick at the start of the season, and rightly so. They got a new manager. He wasn't that really well known, and we maybe thought that Nuno was the glue that was holding that team together. But fair play to the manager, Mr. Large, or however you say his name. He's got Wolves on some really red hot form, and I am going to say that this could be pretty bad for Everton, and I'm going for a Wolves win.
Ooh, damn you, sir. So you've gone for a Wolves win. Mark Selby has gone for the draw. You see, I look at this and I see totally what you're saying. And Scott's gone for 2-2. He's gone for the draw as well. 2-2. Scott, I'm coming into your world because football in your world every weekend is going to be so entertaining. I want to be in your world, Scott. 2-2. I don't think you've predicted a game that hasn't got a goal in. You've not gone for any nil-nils. I love it, Scott. Absolutely love it. I love it if we beat them. Love it, I tell you. But you see, Wolves, like I say, lost 1-1-1 drawn. Everton lost 1 drawn, lost. Thing with Everton is, they didn't buy many players, including Damari Gray, who's kind of found his sort of level again. But they bought so much the last time under Ancelotti, who of course nipped off. But it was Real Madrid, so fair enough. But
I feel like they got teaching from the fair, don't they, Everton? I feel like they're a bit stung by that because he clearly used them as a stepping stone waiting for the Real Madrid. That's a bit out of order in my opinion. But
Wolves are. I think they're flattered to deceive sometimes. I don't think he's going to be he's not going to be one of Scott's 2-2s, like I say. But I think Wolves will. I just don't know which Wolves are going to turn up. Like I say, in the last game, they could only draw with Leeds. When although they got the Villa result, but it was very last minute. They beat Newcastle. Well, you should be able to beat Newcastle, with Steve Bruce in charge.
So what, Villa have a habit of throwing 2 goals away, don't they, as a leader? They did against Wolves and Leicester, so maybe it's just Midlands teams they get cold feet against.
And Southampton, they only beat 1-0, and they're a sort of team at the bottom. And as I say, they lost to Brentford, which is, to say, no mean feat. But I just think Everton are going to be stung by that result because they were ahead. They lost it, and then obviously Watford just went mad in the last few minutes. Don't know what they were drinking, but it's like it's like a horse just finding its last legs at the end, wasn't it? But I think I think they're gonna. And say I'm a bit annoyed at what happened last time. To put it politely, here we're going to show them, and I'm going to go for an Everton win. So the last game, and I disagree with you. And I've gone for the Everton win. So I get why you've gone for Wolves. I really do. But I can't. I mean, Tony has gone for Everton as well, 2-1 over Wolves. I just think, like I say, sometimes when a team gets a battering like that, they come back the next game and look at Watford. 5-0, came back 5-2. I don't think Man United are going to do it at Spurs, personally. But so let's have a look exactly where we are here. We've got Leicester. Brad and me have gone for a win. Mark's gone for a draw. We've all gone for a Brentford win over Burnley. Sorry, Dan. We all think Liverpool are going to get the 3 points against Brighton, and Man City will do the same against Palace. And even Chelsea against Newcastle. None of us could split up Watford and Southampton. You and me, Brad, both went Tottenham Man United for the draw, and probably not the most exciting of a game. Mark just edged it towards Tottenham. Norwich went for a loss from all 3 of us against Leeds, and that's how bad it is because Leeds aren't exactly on fire. Me and Brad agreed for the 9th time that West Ham were going to beat Villa, but Mark went for the draw. And then finally on the last game, we all went different. And we went for the, Brad win, Mark draw, myself going for the Everton away win. So I want to thank you so much for coming on. And just to show you there, I did go for Everton. Oh.
What do you mean, Wolves? Cheater.
You got these people that live up north can't read properly, can they? And I would like to thank Mark for taking the time. He didn't have to do that. And, you know, I know he'd already said no when I'd invited him on a previous show. So I knew he wouldn't really be able to come on. And I understand that because, you know, you got a lot of commitments with that particular sport. And you don't always want distractions. But I really, really do thank him. And just to show that that's what he did, here are his predictions. A draw for Leicester Arsenal, away for Burnley Brentford, Liverpool home to beat Brighton and Hove Albion, as you say, with Manchester City to beat Palace at home, Chelsea the away win against Newcastle, Watford and Southampton to share the points, Tottenham at home to beat Man United, Leeds to beat Norwich, and that I think is going to be everybody's banker as well, West Ham and Villa to draw, the Battle of the Clarets, and Wolves and Everton to draw as well. So really, really, Mark, thank you so much for taking the time out to put those together, because like I say, he didn't have to do it, so I think it was very, very nice of him, and I really, really do appreciate it. I'm going to go because we've got another show coming up at 9, which is the new quiz. Brad, thank you very much, sir.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always. I enjoy it. It's phenomenal, isn't it?
I can't go long without seeing you, so I will see you tomorrow night at 6:45 for the Arsenal versus Leicester, the Leicester versus Arsenal preview. Well, I don't even know if I can go that long. I'm intrigued by this pilot episode, so you might find me hiding in the bushes. I mean, the chat, not bushes. That's wrong terminology. That's a court case. Yes. Yeah. That's the court case, isn't it? You really must stop doing that. You can't keep saying you were going for a wee. It only works once or twice, allegedly. But thanks very much. Might see you later then. If not, definitely see you tomorrow night for the Leicester Arsenal preview. Thanks very much, mate. Good mate. Thank you.
Take care, guys, everybody. Take care.
Thanks to Brad there for that. Like I say, this is going to be coming up in about 43 minutes. Indeed it is. Back at 9 o'clock with Dan. Dan, the man, the Burnley fan. He's up against the Quizmaster. Who is it? Who is the Quizmaster? You've got to know. I can't keep it up like the chase. You're going to know who it is. Back at 9 o'clock. Guys, thanks so much for joining in. As I say, much total respect and total thanks for this man coming not coming on the show, but sending his predictions in. Mark Selby, the Jester from Leicester, world snooker champion and number 2 in the world. It's not just football Leicester are good at. Good night. See you at 9 o'clock.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all them social media platforms for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform
Or ask your smart speaker
to play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.